What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holy Days. And it's really fun to celebrate the holidays and all the riffraff around and all the shopping and all that stuff. But honestly, tonight we're gonna kind of put a lot of the commercialization aside, and we're gonna talk about what it really means, these holy days. What does it really mean? This is a powerful time of year, and especially a powerful time on the planet. I think all of us know in our own ways, we talk about it all the time on the show, that this is a very incredible moment in human history. And so we are going to put a real focus on really looking at this sacred time and how to best utilize it. And I'm really grateful because I knew exactly who I wanted to have on this show, and everyone I asked said, yeah, I'll join you, even though it's 2 days before Christmas. Right off the bat, I was so grateful that JJ and Desiree Hurtak agreed to be here. Of course, JJ wrote The Keys of Enoch, which is one of the real Bibles of our new thought. I mean, it's right up there with Autobiography of a Yogi in terms of one of those books that all of us have read, and that has made such an incredible impact. And they have so much wisdom to share, a life really dedicated to understanding the true meaning of life itself, combining science and spirituality. So I'm so grateful to have JJ and Desiree with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, Scott. It's great to be on this holiday season.
And we're honored to be here with so many special guests.
Well, thank you. And they don't have their camera on, but hopefully Pato and Antionette will turn on their cameras again, because we've got Pato and Antionette with us. There they are. There's at least one of them. There she is. The other couple I really wanted to invite are our beloved friends, Antionette and Pato, who are also, two of our favorite voices. And they're going to be talking about the spirit of Ubuntu, the amazing documentary film they're making and what that really means. So Africa is going to be well represented tonight. And they also they teach actually about the Urantia book. And the Urantia book is a very interesting exploration and an alternative view, very different from what most of us were raised with, similar, but a more cosmic and mystical understanding of our history. So we're going to learn a little bit about the Urantia book. And so with these two incredible couples, I thought, okay, there's only one co-host, and that's got to be Eden Amadora. And of course, Eden is also someone whose entire life has been dedicated to a spiritual journey. We've talked a lot about that. We've done wonderful shows with her about her work with the Divine Feminine. and Mary Magdalene. So welcome, beloved co-host Eden.
Thank you, Scott. It's an honor to be here, day before my birthday, too, and 2 days before yours.
You know, we can always joke that the true meaning of Christmas, it's not all the shopping, it's not Santa Claus, it's not even the little dude in the manger, because he wasn't even born at this time. He was born in springtime. The true meaning of Christmas is Eden's birthday on December 24th and my birthday on December 25th. So here we are, your true meaning of Christmas, kids.
This is our gift to ourselves.
Absolutely. And as always, let us know where you are geographically, everybody. And never fear, Omashar is here. And we're going to have a couple of songs from Omashar. But I'd love to really start the sanctity and turn it right over to you, Eden, what this time of year means to you, and if you would offer an opening prayer.
Thank you, beloved Scott. So for me, I just came out of a very deep solstice ritual. This is the return of the sun. This is when our solar king rises, or the sun child is born again. So we have just moved through the longest, darkest night and come back into the days of light. Yesterday, the solstice hit the peak, and we are in the turning towards the light. So what this time has always meant to me is that return to that light that we all truly are, that remembrance of that divine child, that inner starlight. So I'm going to ask us to put a hand on our precious hearts, our heart chakras, and just give yourself a little warmth, that sweet touch, that self-anointing. This actually has been proven to be good for us, mind, body, and spirit, to connect to our own precious hearts. If you want to close your eyes for a moment, let us invoke this inner light. If you wish to bow your head gently, dive into the space behind your hand of light. Deep into this heart chakra, there is something called the Hridaya Akash in Sanskrit, the sacred heart, the cosmic heart, where we move through the portal into the infinite, into the oneness, the non-dual, into the divine light. Deep breath into the back of the heart, the deepest, innermost part of that heart chakra. And just feeling your personal heart's desire, the deepest prayer of your heart at this time when the energies are so aligned for this recoherence, this remembrance of the light, remembering our humanity and our divinity in the center of the sacred heart, where the above and below connect in unity. And we pray together for peace, peace within and peace all around, peace between our hearts, this human family. And as we breathe into our own precious heart, just take a moment to feel those relationships in your life that you'd like to bring more peace to, just as Master Jesus, the world teacher, spoke about this seeing each other in our true divinity, in who we truly are. Forgiveness is a very, very high spiritual practice. So in this moment, we pray for peace, we pray for forgiveness, and just feel if you can bridge even a moment towards the beings in your life that you may have shielded your heart towards. And in this moment, softening the shields of the heart, letting the light in to the sacred heart, and letting the light of the sacred heart illuminating around you, rippling and spreading like golden threads. We are all over this world, lighting up the globe like light nodes as we come into more forgiveness, more peace, and more love. Deep breath. Let us spread this love to where it's needed most in the collective, on the world stages, the places where there is so much darkness right now. More than 30 wars are happening in the war-torn areas of this planet. We send this light. We send this peace, this love to the hearts of all the beings who are suffering, who are afraid, and to the hearts and minds of the beings who are in positions of leadership, that they may awaken to this unity. One more deep breath. And just feeling that prayer for our human family to awakening the collective heart. Taking our hands of light in front of our hearts in the simple mudra of namaste, and just feeling a moment, an inner smile and some gratitude. I always say gratitude is grace, the same root, grace and gratitude. Just feeling what we're grateful for. One more deep breath in that field of gratitude for the beauty, the goodness, the abundance. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this day. Thank you for this chance to come together in this good way. Blessed be. I bow to you all.
Christmas, all that is you. A merry, merry Christmas and a happy new year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. War is over if you want it. War is over now. War is over if you want it. War is over now. Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear.
Let's all twinkle on a star. What a perfect first song for tonight. Oh my heavens. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, and right off the bat, there's some comments coming in I want to read. Dorina Joy writes, "Thank you, Omashar, for my favorite Christmas song and this beautiful background, holding Gaia so lovingly." And Susan Bloomquist writes, "Bringing the spirit of John Lennon in his dream of peace." Perfect choice. Great choice, my friend. Thank you. And we'll have more Omashar a little later on in the show. Well, I mentioned at the very beginning when I was introducing them, JJ and Desiree. I learned so much from them every time I get to see them. And I'm blessed. I get to see them in different places. We were all in Las Vegas together recently. Of course, I've been with them in their beautiful home in Sedona, Arizona. They travel all over the world, spreading not just good cheer, but real understanding of true spirituality and science. So welcome, JJ and Desiree, back to the awakening world.
Thank you so much, Scott. We're honored to be here at this time when the world is going through major changes. And so in the spirit of gratitude, but also compassion for those who are suffering and those who are on the, should we say, the edge of life, we send forth the great light and the message of the good news.
Right, and we're going to share our screen now with a message that we feel is important to understand. Let's see if we can get everything functional here. Go over.
And that message is the role of the Divine Mother in bringing forth peace. And we're going to take you on a little journey through what we call cosmograms or cosmic pictures that allow us to see really through the right hemisphere, the feminine side of the brain, the multidimensional aspects of human consciousness.
And of course, because it is Christmas, we want to start with the power of Christ coming into this world, which was really a way of teaching people forgiveness, love, and tolerance. And of course, as we all know right now, this planet needs that same consciousness very sorely.
Jesus, or Yeshua, was of the royal line of David, an Israelite in spirit, but also in his public ministry, he was a Palestinian. In the cloth of Turin, we are told, we actually see this, that he was from Nazareth and Galilee. And so the branches of the ancient Hebrew letters, the prophetic language, represent the 6 dimensions that we are involved with.
Right, and his birth also in Bethlehem, which is now a key place also for unity coming forth in terms of the merging of the peoples that live there. We want to show you, though, how important it is also the Divine Mother, which you see in the picture.
And also the language of the prophets with letters of light above them.
But the Divine Mother is amazing because she's come in many places, and that's what we're going to be doing today, to talk about the places that she's traveled to and appeared. So going back, and this is something that we were just there in Mexico as well, on December 12, 1531.
Almost 500 years ago.
And actually, yes, because we were there during the time when they were doing the pilgrimages. So she appeared to this Aztec convert to Christianity. His name was Juan Diego, and he was under the jurisdiction of a bishop, Frau Juan de Zumarraga. And the bishops, wanted to know more about what Juan was doing. And he actually had gone out and he saw the Virgin. But of course, the bishop didn't believe him at all and said, okay, bring me back flowers, these particular flowers that don't bloom at this time. So he went back to the Virgin and he said to the Virgin, the bishop wants to see these flowers. So she actually had those flowers. They appeared in his tilma. This is like his garment that he was wearing. And as he came back holding these flowers to the bishop, he unrolled his tilma and this beautiful, beautiful cloth appeared. Now,
so keep in mind that this was the time of Spanish repression of the indigenous people. And so this was a sign really to Juan, but also to the indigenous people, that the Divine Mother is reaching out in a miraculous way of peace, inner experience, alignment with the higher source of the divine light, as we see in the light emanations associated with the tilma.
And it actually converted many of the Aztec people and saved them literally from probably being killed at the time, for those who didn't want to believe and go on with what the, we'll say the Spanish conquistadors had arranged. So the tilma is made of cactus. We were just there. You see our friend Alan Steinfeld, I know his mutual friend, and it should have disintegrated within 50 years of this happening, but it's still in perfect condition.
It's a wonderful experience to be there, actually, in the larger church. And so there are walkways and actually escalators that you can use. Ironically, we met with a delegation of our academy from Spain, unbeknownst to ourselves, who were also there at that location giving thanks and realizing that in spite of the repression of history, this is the age of the Divine Mother.
Right. And anyone who's ever gone there, you feel that energy, even though it's been kind of publicized now and people go through there and there's escalators, as Dr. Deck said, basically you really feel that. And what's interesting, there's these stars on the covering of the garment of the Divine Mother. Again, this is just simply the tilma of the Juan, who was the Aztec convert. But in 1981, the Observatory of Mexico City analyzed it, and they said that there's 46 stars, 22 on her right side and 24 on her left side. And you can see that. So this all just kind of came out. He didn't even know about it until he offered these flowers. But again, it did save the people of Mexico, of the indigenous people. I want to go on because our time is extremely short to another time when she appeared literally and saved people in France. So this is Our Lady of Pont-Manon. And in January 17, 1871, she appeared like this to actually two young boys.
During the Franco-Prussian War.
Yes, and they were in this small town, and there was this whole Prussian army advancing, and they figured, okay, it's the end of them. I mean, they all felt that they were just going to be taken over. But these two young boys, Joseph and Eugene, actually ages 10 and 12, saw in the night sky an apparition of a beautiful woman smiling, and she was wearing a blue cloak covered with golden stars and a black veil with a golden crown. And then two girls, I have to say, this is so important, came. So you have the balance, which you're having tonight, Scott, Francoise and Jean-Marie, and they were 9 and 11. And the adults who came because of what was taking place saw only 3 stars forming a triangle. So it lasted for 3 hours.
Yes, and after the apparition was there, a certain event took place. We were told from the Prussian side that as they began to appear on the village outskirts, the apparition of the Virgin was felt. According to General Schmidt, quote, "We cannot go further. There is an invisible Madonna barring the way," end of quote. And so clearly this was one of the major points of intervention that the Virgin has played throughout history.
So that was amazing. And the war actually ended shortly thereafter, thank goodness. But basically, yes, the troops were halted supposedly at the exact same time when the Virgin appeared to these young people. Amazing phenomena. Now, here's something that's exciting. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hurtak because we've been there. We've gone to Zaytun in Egypt.
This is the Coptic Church, the large Coptic Church in downtown Cairo. In 1968, a series of apparitions appeared as we see here. Not something that's a result of a holographic projection. No, this was something that was unique, that was seen by observers over a period of time on all sides of the church, but the main focus was on the cupola of the Coptic Church, where the Virgin appears with a halo of light. We would call this in parapsychology a manifestation of a whole light being.
So actually, this was a time, there's Christians and of course Muslims in Egypt, and it was a time when really there was getting to be animosity between them, and this totally changed because a lot of the Muslims then saw her, and some of you probably know that the Divine Mother is written about a lot in the Quran.
In the Quran, she is mentioned more than Muhammad. In the Quran, she is exalted as the exquisite female form, or the highest female form on the planet. And so we see here a picture from April 2nd, 68, when Muhammad.
Yeah, a mechanic first saw her. He was across the street, Farouk Muhammad Atwa, who worked across the street from the church. And he thought he saw a woman committing suicide by jumping off the top of the building. And then suddenly other people cried, "This is not a girl, this is the Virgin Mary." And these visions continued on and off with many people coming to see them until 1971.
We see on the right-hand side, people there in the foreground looking up and seeing the Virgin as a young girl, or shall we say, an unusual form of the feminine.
So we're going to show a short video actually of some of these pictures that were taken. And it was so profound that even President Nasser,
who had just lost the Six-Day War with Israel in 67, but also as a Muslim, made a public statement, which he didn't have to do, that this was a real apparition. We see now a close-up from various angles, and also what appears to be the aspect of the dove, which the ancients also used interchangeably with the language of light, or the peaceful message of the Virgin. Thousands gathered over a period of time from 68 to 71. What was most important, though, was the sign and the telepathic message of peace that people of both traditions felt, that she was a symbol of peace, that there was going to be a series of upheavals and changes, and we would have to choose to go the way of light, as we see here in this manifestation. We were there in December 22. We made prayers, and we had the feeling that there was going to be more upheavals in the Middle East, and people would have to turn to the Divine Mother, both Muslim, Christian, and Judaic, to find really the essence of what is called in the Hebrew the Imma, the mother sign, in the Eastern traditions, Amma, or the various names and terminology of Sophia, Maria, in the Greek and Coptic. But we see close-ups now of clearly a form that was identified as a virgin apparition.
Yeah, and it was accepted by the church and, as Dr. Deck said, even
I, as
the
a scientist who
Muslims.
worked with optical research and lasers, felt a bit perplexed at first until I was there and I had testimony from the various Egyptian friends that this was a real apparition.
It's amazing to be able to see all the pictures, but it took place over a period of 3 years. And that was why it was so interesting. So also, we want to acknowledge the power of Ubuntu that Antionette and Pato will be talking about. And this is something that also occurred in Africa. Actually, it's Our Lady of Kimbeho. And Mary first appeared in Rwanda on November 28th, 1981, to Alphonse Muriki. And one of her messages was an apocalyptic vision about Rwanda moving towards violence. And they take it perhaps it was a warning of the 1994 Rwanda genocide. But I just want to show that really she has people all over the world to bring a message of peace, of love, of understanding. Now, whether we listen to her or not, at least that Divine Mother has been there and again acknowledged in many other traditions, like the Muslim especially.
So we have to go beyond, shall we say, the hyperbole of all of the plastic aspects of the holidays and look deep into the heart. The Divine Mother has been there in many parts of the world as we're on the cusp of major suffering or change. Another interesting area was in Medjugorje in Bosnia and Herzegovina, where we were there in 2013. And Desiree and I made the journey, the pilgrimage to go up the mountain. It was very difficult.
It's not easy. You can see
we
the
were
rocks.
separated. When I got to the top, I was greeted by a girl from Ethiopia. She helped me up because of the long and strenuous journey at my age. And I felt the joy of being up there and recognizing again the peace symbol that was there for the daughter religions in the Abrahamic tradition, that we should allow the inner peace to overcome the social and political scenarios of violence. What is also interesting, as you see in the lower part of the screen, is the statue
Of
connected.
Christ, yeah.
And the oil that comes abundantly from this is greeted by pilgrims from all over the world.
Right. So the lady, the Divine Mother, has been appearing almost daily to some or all of the 6 young visionaries starting in June 24th, 1981. There's still in information that she's given. She said there was 9 special secrets that she was to share with these girls and that they were to share with the church. But what's interesting, this was really in Yugoslavia at the time in 81. And she introduced herself as the Queen of Peace. And then almost exactly, and of course, the official war of the Bosnia and Herzegovina conflict started in April 6th of 92, but prior, the real beginnings was actually almost exactly 10 years later from when she appeared, because officially it was June 26th, 1991, when really the first skirmishes towards this conflict began. So I just have to say, it's so beautiful to see how many times she has come to try to teach people.
Fortunately, we had great wise men at the Dayton Accord from the United States and Europe that intervened to prevent further bloodshed. But this was a sign to us that there was definitely an apparition that was going on in war scenes, and we were getting to understand also the warning that was given by the Virgin at Fatima in Portugal in 1917, that there would be a change towards violence. And there would be signs and seasons, but we would have to take the higher path.
Right, and it's just a sign, of course, that the Bosnian pyramid is really not far from there. It's a short few-hour drive. So let us take a moment to really bring some of this energy together. We're going to do this special mantra, then we're going to talk a little bit more and then close with the meditation. But we want to acknowledge the power of Maria Sophia Shekinah. Maria, everyone's familiar with it. Really, in a Hebrew tradition, it's Miriam.
Sophia, the Greek word for wisdom, Shekinah or Shekinah, meaning of the divine presence or the presence of light of the divine. Mary of wisdom and the presence of God. We're going to intone this 3 times. And again, the sign of triple power of body, mind, and spirit, or the sign of the triangle, as we were told earlier, that appeared on the garments and above the head of the apparitions, is a sign of what in Africa, the Near East, and the Far East was recognized as a common sign for divine intervention, divine unfoldment. So I'm going to begin, listen carefully, and Desiree and one of my colleagues will join.
And please feel free to sing with us, muted.
Maria Sophia. Maria Sophia Shekinah. Maria Sophia Shekinah. Maria Sophia Shekinah. Feel that golden halo around your head as we see in the picture. And understand this is the experiential side of the teaching of the Divine Mother through musical vibrations, and particularly through that part of our brain, which we call the feminine side, the right hemisphere. It is the multidimensional, non-local side of how we come closer to the divine Godhead.
And now we're going to do one of the expressions in our book of the Divine Mother's names, and the way we've done it in the book, which is where each name itself actually has a significance as well as a mantra.
You can see on the cover of the doves, because again, with the Divine Mother, there is the sign of grace, gratitude, and glory.
And the one we picked tonight is Kuan Yin, because she's the Bodhisattva of mercy and compassion. Kuan means really observing or watching. The yin is sound vibrations. And basically, she is watching for the power of suffering, the energy of suffering. And then she takes her 10,000 arms and sends them down to humanity. In Sanskrit, she's known as the Padma Mani, born of the lotus, symbolizing purity, peace, and harmony.
She is known all throughout the Far East, from Indonesia through the mountains of Tibet and China. And there's countless names. We can include well over 300 of her names in the Sanskrit Oriental traditions in our book on the Divine Mother. You're going to hear now from our colleague, Jocelyn Smith in Berlin, who sings. She's a member of our Academy for Future Science, bringing joy to all peoples of the world through the sacred names of God and the Godhead.
And then we'll start our meditation. It was working earlier. And we'll just do our we'll do this mantra.
Let me this book. Let's do this ourselves.
Yeah.
Multiple heads, multiple nature, omnidirectionality, omnipresence. He represents the earlier manifestations that made its way from far east to the Near East, then parts of Eastern Europe. And she represents the excellence and balance that Brahma found in the turmoil, separation, dualism, and we reunite the fuller self and understand the mystery of nativity, the Christ child, how the Divine Mother was the vehicle through which the divine aspect and teaching was given.
And so let us visualize ourselves in a certain sense. If you wish, you can close your eyes, because we want to talk and sing about the Queen of Peace, the one who has come to all parts of the world, including the US, including many other countries that we did not mention around the world. And she has brought us, even if not physical peace, she has brought us inner peace.
In all cultures, in all languages, she is recognized, from the Black Virgin to one of many colors, many manifestations, also connected with the halo of light, the blessings of grace. And we see in this cosmogram the master teachers of light from the higher worlds, the angelic, but we see the manifestations of the wheel of creation, with the doves being sent forth in all directions. Upon the mountaintops of the world, within the inner sanctuaries of the heart, within the tabernacle of spirit, we turn to you, Divine Mother, as we see the beautiful white dove of our hearts, as we see also in the cosmogram, that you are there preparing and assisting us in our steps of light.
And so as we take a moment now to say the words Regina
Pacis. Regina Pacis. Regina Pacis. Regina Pacis. Regina Pacis.
We feel the vibrations growing. Now we also introduce the Hebrew word of Malkat for queen and Malkat HaOlam for queen of the world. But the idea of Olam in Hebrew is not only of the world, but of eternity, of the all, of all time. And we see in this image, this is from our book, Over Self Awakening, and it shows the sacred areas all over the world that are part of the presence of the Shekinah, the divine presence of the Godhead that is in our midst.
With each of the spheres you see from the lower left, the monastery of Bishoy, the Coptic monastery in Egypt, to the areas that are sacred in Tibet, to Mount Kailash in the center of the screen, we see the vibrations of music and sacred harmonics with the image of the Divine Mother, who was connected with the compassionate Christ Jesus at the top of the screen. The sacred triad of color and majesty, and then the spheres of the whirling galaxies, showing us that we are part of a house of many mansions.
So let us realize that the garment of the Divine Mother, no matter if she's from the east or the west, Kuan Yin or Maria, that she encompasses all the sacred areas of the world, but also all the peoples of the world are also seen as part of her holy garment. And let us feel enwrapped by her energy, enlightened by her higher love.
And as we look at her heart, we see the three inner spheres or jewels, that is to say, the heart that is increased in its wisdom and compassion for all people of the world. This is the triple power of mind, spirit, and body, the embodiment of our incarnation to know why we're here, to be this vibration of the divine, both the Divine Father, the Divine Mother, and in a sense of the cosmic Christ, the eternal Christ that is within us through our gifts of compassion and similitude. And so I invoke the Hebrew Aramaic expression of Malkut HaOlam.
Malkat HaOlam.
Together. Malkat HaOlam. Malkat HaOlam. Malkat HaOlam.
We feel the vibrations and we take those vibrations now to planet Earth. And we send energy to every place where there is not peace. And we ask that the Divine Mother will go there. The Divine Family will be there, bringing the message of heartful peace, unconditional love, and a divine understanding of how we are really one humanity.
And as the dove encircles the earth, we encircle the situations of the Near East, you encircle the situations of the Koreas, the situations of Upper and Lower Sudan, the divisions also in East Europe. We ask for divine intervention. We ask that people will turn to the compassion of the Divine Mother and understand her role in bringing out beyond the masculine paradigm of traditional religion, culture, and political leadership, the feminine, long overdue, long incubating within the hearts of the great prophets and mystics, the sign that will be victorious.
Once again, let us open our own hearts to the power of the dove, which is often seen as connected with the Divine Mother. Even during the baptism of Christ, the dove was there, both as the mother and the father, blessing Christ as he was blessing our planet. And let us feel that energy surrounding Mother Earth once again. Feel the dove's wings surrounding the power of the earth
and feeling
bring-
what the prophets call the bath kol, the voice of the dove.
Let us sing that expression. Bath kol is the vibration of energy that can encircle the earth with peace.
The awakening of the intuitive gifts, the paranormal gifts, the paraphysicals of distant healing, distant thought projection, remote viewing, all of these gifts we believe are part of the work of the Holy Spirit, which is why in practical theology, the work of the Divine Mother and the Spirit are becoming interchangeable. One cannot exist without the other. So in the field of spirit, the raising of consciousness, the dynamics of the mind and heart being expanded together, let us invoke the sacred expression, Bath Kol. Bath Kol. Bath Kol. Bath Kol. Bath Kol.
And let us now go to our final expression, which is the Son of God, as we come back to bring the Mother back to the Son and to unite the two as one. We realize that also she often appears in connection with an understanding of why Christ came to the planet at this time.
If we look at the cosmogram, the hands are reaching out and catching the emanations of light. In the midst, we see the Divine Mother and the Divine Son in coordination from all sides of the planet. And we read from the Greek New Testament, Kleos tu Theou.
But let us feel the vibrations one more time of understanding that Christ came to become entangled. Term, but with this planet coming here, there is a divine connection. And we believe that Christ actually first existed in the heavenly realms
As the light.
And took on a body form, which is why we see the transformation back into the light in the cloth of Turin.
The mystery of what scholars, Greek, German, and Italian have seen in terms of micro enhancements of the cloth itself. Other letters were seen with the olive over the throat.
And so feel the power of Christ now coming down once again at the time of his birth and connecting with you, connecting also and bringing forth the power of the love of the Divine Mother and the love of the Divine Father that is really present throughout the planet and transforming the hearts and minds of people everywhere. Feel the capstone of light also over your head, or the crown of light that is also there. See the dove upon yourself, bringing forth an inner knowing of peace, joy, forgiveness, and compassion.
Ios tu Theou.
We
Ios tu Theou. Ios tu Theou. Ios tu Theou. Patience of the Christ child. May the mystery of the Son of the Most High, Elion, quicken us into greater compassion for the weak and the homeless, the destitute, to the suffering. May the greater message of peace brought into the world through the Nativity remind us that through music, through sound, and through higher meditation and visualization, can the family of love, the gathering of the tribes, the peaceful ones, the tribe of peace, make miracles of the future take place.
And let us feel the vibrations again at this sacred time of the Divine Mother who has helped humanity or cried out to humanity many times. Let us see her even in our midst, bringing us that peace that passes all human understanding, because we do feel that changes are taking place on the planet. In a certain sense, people's lives will be changed, but we can survive by finding the peace of Christ, the peace of the Divine Mother within our lives.
And so we bless humanity from all directions. We ask that the manifestations and apparitions of the Divine Mother continue to open up the eyes and ears of those who will yet see and yet hear the sacred pronouncements, the sacred mantras, the sacred expressions that will bring us into a symphony of joyous ascension. According to the mystical, as well as the new scientific, we are emerging into a new spirituality of recognizing the left and the right parts of our human mind are going to expand remarkably, and we're going to experience the consciousness of the universe. We're going to move, some of us, into the actual experience of fifth dimensional similitude with the divine source.
And so let us close with the Amen vibrations, and then we'll introduce you to some of our teachings.
From the four directions, from the far east to the far west, from the indigenous of the north to the indigenous of the south, we say the four amens always to salute the human family with God's grace. Amen. 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 And amen.
Just a final slide,
For
Scott.
those of you interested, we have again on the far right.
Yes, or actually it's the left on your side. We actually have the Divine Names of the Father book that we did, and in the lower center, the Divine Names of the Mother. And now just last year, we came out with the Divine Names of the Christ.
The Cosmic Christ.
And they're all available on keysofenoch.org. And then underneath that picture, we actually have a CD we did with Stephen Halpern on the Divine Names of the Mother.
Ciphers of the Divine Mother.
And these are from around the world. So we include all different
The
languages.
Tibetan, the Sanskrit, the Chinese.
And the indigenous, Pachamama being one of
All
them.
over the world, we celebrate the gathering of the tribes because we believe this is the time that the higher ground is before our eyes. We must seek the higher ground away from violence into greater compassion, forgiveness, and reconciliation, where Jesus himself went to the Samaritan woman. He went out of his way to show a greater charity, a greater act of fellowship and love for all people.
And of course, the center book is the Keys of Enoch. Thank you, Scott. You have some questions?
With the lights and the emanations coming from the dove on the cover of the Keys of Enoch, we are to announce the fact that the seven seals or chakras within our body converge like a musical trumpet. The seventh trumpet activates a whole new language of experience.
Eden?
Yes, amazing. Wow. I'm going to add me. I don't know if Scott's internet's a little slow. Sometimes in Tiburon it can be. Hi, Scott. You're here too.
Now you know why when I wanted to do a show on the universality, why we had to have JJ and Desiree.
I'm blown away by your presentation. I'm activated. I feel my third eye buzzing, and the confirmation of Divine Mother's presence and the synchronicity. As this morning, I went down the rabbit hole on images of Mother Mary and doves, and I had
Behind you. Is that-
8 images. I could flip through them behind me right now that just today came in so strongly, not knowing that this would be your presentation. I'm lit up in goosebumps. I also am so curious because I feel like she specifically came to places almost to warn the people, do not fall into that density of division and war and separation. And the people were not yet ready to really take the wisdom and heed her warnings. And I know she's also appeared. I was just in Lourdes in France. I actually went and got my little water. It's like this precious little water. And I wonder if you would share, that story was just so fascinating to me as well. It wasn't about war that was coming, but there was this magical well, this magical spring.
For healing, right. So
Yeah.
Lord, it's really a focus on
We've
healing.
been there also, and that's Mount the Keys of Enoch is one of the sacred places.
Yeah, because the energy there, and people are still getting healed. That's the important thing. I mean, in a certain sense, what we were saying exactly was, she's come for peace in the larger sense, but she's also come to help heal people in the personal sense. So I think that that's so beautiful. So yes, the energy there is fabulous.
So powerful. I waited a while. There was a lot of people. There was a beautiful mass and singing, and Then when they cleared out, there was still some dripping of the water because they've closed off the actual source where the young woman Bernadette, she dug with her hands. She was like a 13-year-old child that Mother Mary appeared to maybe more than 18 times or something like this. And the townspeople didn't believe her until she brought them to the holy well that she had started to dig where she was told, and it was there. Now they've covered it with glass, or, it's not for everybody to just go take the water straight. They've piped it in, so many spigots are available to people, though I've heard it's slightly chlorinated now just to keep it, because people drink it. And so I went and took every little drip in this bottle from the cave drops. No chlorine, please. For my bottle. But yeah, the magic in that place, you felt it. And yeah,
It's
beautiful.
also close to the sacred areas of Montségur, which is also a sacred area, and the Rosalind Chapel. So that whole area down there in, we'll say, southern France is a very key.
Rosalind Chapel, of course, in Scotland.
I'm sorry, there's another chapel there. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I was on the Mary Magdalene pilgrimage, and we began with the Mother Mary, really potent energy at Lourdes, and then it opened up into those other sacred wells and sacred sites. I know there's some comments, Scott. Maybe we want to address.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to read some of the comments. And again, thank you for such an incredible presentation.
This is the time that we almost be emissaries of peace. These operations are not for Japanese and American tourists with cameras. No, this is a very important sign. We're going to go into some very heavy duty times the next 3 years. I don't mean to downplay the festivities of the holy days, but the holy days are a portal to what we believe cosmic ascension, the realization that we have paranormal powers and gifts that we are now being able to use if we take the higher path. And so with this, we thank all of you for allowing us to share.
So what's some of the questions?
Well, first off, I want to let people know where they can get a lot more information from you, and then we're going to get to the comments and questions. But their website is the Keys of Enoch .org, keysofenoch.org, and that's spelled Keys, Keys of Enoch, ENOCH.org. And just like you saw in this presentation, which was so brilliant, it's amazing how much you packed into 30 minutes. Likewise, there's a lot happening on their website. As I said before, JJ and Desiree travel all over the world, and they are doing a lot of amazing things. And you can actually catch them in March. They'll be in Phoenix, Arizona. In February, we'll all be together at the Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo. So we'll be with you then. Maybe I definitely would love to have you coming up to my room where I'll be doing an Awakening World show. I was with you last year, Sedona Ascension Retreat every year we go to. So a lot of wonderful opportunities to learn from them, to get the book, to really just dive into the incredible wisdom that they have. And is there anything in particular on your website you'd like me to spotlight or talk about?
Oh, no, but the Easter seminar, and then if you go to our catalog, I think the names of Christ, the names of the
I
Divine
think it's
Mother.
important also that new book, Salvator Mundi,
Yeah.
the names of the cosmic Christ, and we have the names also in Aramaic.
And the way we
particularly for people in Europe who have to deal with the refugees coming in. Jocelyn Smith, who I mentioned, whose voice we did here, was honored by President Herzog of Germany because we've used spiritual music to help accommodate the refugees and give them the benefits of love and support that generally are not publicly visible or accessible.
Right, and every page has its own unique picture with the name and then a meditation. And the book is really designed for people's meditations of the Divine Mother from all over the world again.
So it's the multidimensional aspect that's missing in formal theology. You talk about the name Divine Mother. What does that mean to young people who tend to be skeptical? No, you have to feel the inner pulse of opening the heart. You have to feel the radiance of joy and helping people in situations of hardship. You have to have that smile or that handshake to strangers to let them know that, no, there is light working in the world of political darkness.
And just to go back into the 70s, when we worked with Andrea Puchart, he actually went to the Middle East when there was a real problem, when Henry Kissinger was actually going out trying to do his his peace talk around, we actually were in Andrea's house in New York, and we did prayers 3 times a day, tuning into Andrea, Phyllis, and John in the Middle East. And really at the end of that, Henry Kissinger was able to, of course, make the peace work. So, I mean, there's things that we all can do. I think that's the
And we
most
had 2
important
former
message.
members of John F. Kennedy's staff join us.
But sending peace, even if you don't see it happening right now, it may be helping the small boy or the small girl, who is trying to, be protected in the circumstance of what's going on. So we say, please, continue your prayers for peace morning and night, at least, for any place in the world that needs it.
And feel the inner tabernacle of divine love. This is the great inner mind that's being now recognized by heart math specialists. This inner love vibration is so strong, it can carry us through many situations and intrigues with surplus energy. The mind dynamic is now being opened to the realm of new consciousness physics, and we must take advantage of this.
And thank you, Scott. And Eden.
Well, we're not going to let you go yet. Hold on one moment. I want to read some comments, and there are a couple questions because there's so much. So this is going to be a combination of what's come in. Susan writes, your pictures are so moving and helpful for prayers. George is eager to hear the distinction and the similarities between the Urantia book and what you've been sharing with us. Grace Denise writes, blessings and prayers for our world. Thank you so much for leading the way. Iota writes, Desiree and JJ, this was so inspiring and even reassuring to hear about all the appearances of Divine Mother. Thank you so much for sharing everything tonight. Compelling timing tonight that we are hearing about communications from the mother in various forms as warnings about possible impending danger. Have you seen the Mamos video that Chief Phil was?
Kogi, is that the one?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, it's
We
really
work with the
sad.
Kogi.
Yeah, but very sad that, and it's probably, we'd like to say we can make a difference, and we feel we can. On the other hand, we know that changes are coming, and we just have to be heart-centered and divine-centered, literally.
The picture behind us shows us in what I would call future humanity, building cities in space. We know we will survive no matter what the tempest and the teapot is, and whatever happens with cataclysmic changes in some parts of the world, a certain part of humanity will go forth. That's the Adam and Eve story, that we're taking our baby steps into space, and we must take that other, shall we say, deep breath to recognize we are the temple of divine spirit. And we are now entering into what I call, through the keys of Enoch, the age of the Holy Spirit, where we will have greater gifts, the speeding up of knowledge and insights that will help us find answers to what we face. For example, one of our scientists has been working with the restoration of life in the ocean coral that have died. Breakthroughs are taking place yet to be understood in the realm of new science, but we have a tremendous opportunity of new food sources from the oceans of the planet.
But I want to, for Urantia, we're going to leave that to Pato and Antionette, but I do want to say that we feel that Christ is existing in these higher dimensions, higher heavens, that is also spoken of in Urantia, as well as the keys of Enoch, and that we are actually growing into that reality ourselves as well. So we're no longer going to be limited to 3/4th dimensional beings, but we're going to be part of a 5th to, we'll say, 24th dimensional reality, being able to witness and experience these other greater life forms.
So there were many questions, but the one that I'm going to ask you is, you of course briefly mentioned the Shroud of Turin. I know that you've studied it quite a bit, and people want to know, please tell us a little bit about what you know from both the scientific and spiritual point of view about the Shroud of Turin.
Well, we've been there twice. Is exactly when they've taken it out. You can go there when they don't have it out, but we've gone there twice when it was out. It's a free pass, so to speak. And this is Dr. Hurtak's. So
this is the imagery, the 3-dimensional imagery that my colleague at Jet Propulsion Lab in Los Angeles developed, Dr. Don Lin, back in the 70s. I was not officially connected with this research. I was part of what is called ASSIST, American Scholars and Scientists involved or interested in the Cloud of Turin.
So what this means is that it was not painted on. There was some sort of energy burst, we would say, that took matter and brought it back into light. And like, actually, I didn't get into details, like the Virgin of Guadalupe, there is no paint on that.
For that three-dimensional image to be there, equally distributed on a molecular basis in
On
all directions.
front and back, because there's a back part of the cloth as
And
well.
what was found in 2003 by Italian, German, and Greek scientists and photo optics and image enhancement was that they were able to go even deeper into the cloth itself and find that there was what we call a death certificate laid over the cloth that was absorbed by the sublimation process of the Christ figure.
Wow.
And the cloth that was on the cloth by Roman authorities, they found that words in Greek, Jesus of Nazareth. And I said at the beginning of our program, the Jesus gospel, social gospel, and spiritual teaching went also to the
Well,
Palestinians.
it says Nazarene in clear because there was a death certificate that was laid over it.
So this is something that just has caused some of our colleagues that were skeptical of the cloth to change their opinion, such as Dr. Ray Rogers at Los Alamos,
And we were on a coast to coast program for the
with
Turin.
George Knapp.
Basically, it shows the energy from matter can go back to light. We actually believe we were once light and became matter, and we can do the same thing again. And the Divine Mother and the Son and all aspects of higher teaching actually says the same.
So this is the beginning of a whole new science, a future science of consciousness. And if those of you are interested, Desiree and I can come back and we can show you the other photographs that are rather remarkable. This is more than just a historic relic. It is a sign, a mirror of our own cosmic potential.
We have a great show tonight, so we'll be letting it go to the next great presenter.
And would love to have you come back and do more. Thank you so much. There's so many comments that have come in. People just appreciating you. I cannot thank you enough. Eden, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I could ask even 3 questions of my own. I just know we're limited for time. The only one I want to plant as a seed, and listening to what's popping up in the comments, is just the connection between these beings of light, and now with the disclosure movement, when we hear about angels, and we now are looking at what is a 5th, 6th, 7th, and up dimensional being. And I'd love to dive down that rabbit hole one day with her.
Absolutely. I know. Well,
these other dimensional beings are now called ultra-terrestrial. They are from the higher end of the spectrum we would normally call the angelic in the Western traditions, or the avataristic avatars in the Eastern tradition. So the authorities are now beginning to use our terminology, that there's extraterrestrials, extracelestials, and ultra-terrestrials. So we have to go up the ladder of spiritual understanding to understand the mysteries that have confounded our scientists for the last 80 years.
And just as there's many extraterrestrials, there's many ultra-terrestrials, 10,000 times 10,000 plus. So we'll let that go, and we'll come back another time with Scott Katamas.
Love you so much. God bless you. Thank you very much.
So much.
Well, about the only couple I can imagine that we could follow those.
Scott. Scott's internet is a little bit sketchy, so I know he's adding you, Pato and Antionette. Here you are, Scott. You're back.
Oh, good. I didn't know that I was lost.
There was just a little glitch.
Okay. A little glitchy tonight. There they are. So, and of course, Pato and Antionette are dear friends of myself, and also JJ and Desiree. And we are all
big love to the Hurtaks. We've known them for a good time and everything. So big love to the Hurtaks. We love you guys so much. We've been working with them for years and different things. And so that was a beautiful presentation. Love that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to just carry it right over. Of course, Pato and Antionette, they've been on our show many times. They're most beloved. And tonight I've asked them to share about the spirit of Ubuntu, which is this incredible documentary film. And we're going to do an entire show with them on Saturday night, January 13th, all about their film. So they can talk a little bit about the spirit of Ubuntu, and then also about the Urantia book and what both of those traditions tell us about these holy times, these sacred times.
Well, thank you. So, as you know, a couple years ago, Pato and I went on a 10-city tour not 10 city, 10 country tour of Africa, all over the continent. And we were tasked to document the true history, the story, the philosophy of the African philosophy of I am because you are, the story of Ubuntu. So now that we've finally completed the documentary, we're about to be entering, we've started entering it to like several film festivals. We've already won some awards. We've also won some awards for the short story, also for the long documentary. And then starting right at the beginning of the year, we just take off on a film festival run for the entire year, as well as going back to South Africa for an Ubuntu festival for 4 days. And we're also opening up to the international community for people who want to come down and learn about the spirit of Ubuntu straight out of Africa. And then we go and then premiered back into the same countries that we originally started premiering the documentary and then continuing back onto the film festival. But what's been interesting, because we're born to the divine mothers and to the divine feminine and everything else, how it ties into and what I've been feeling. So I had to make a trailer about the Ubuntu women. So let me go ahead and share that with you guys. All right. There we
Fantastic.
go. All right. Let's see. Can you see that? Oh, that's not that one.
Yes, we can.
Okay. That's not the one, though. Oh, it's this one. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
here
we
go.
can.
To me, Ubuntu is our own ethos. If I were to tell the world about Ubuntu, I would say we rise by lifting others.
With Ubuntu, you reach out to those that have lost hope, but through Ubuntu, they are able to move on. They are encouraged. They are told there is much that we can achieve when we are there for each other.
Ubuntu in my community means humanity, where we share whatever we have, whether little or much. We are all connected by that spirit, that whatever I have, it is mine, yes, but I'm kind of propelled to help the other people to raise up to where I am.
Umuntu is about love. It's about loving your neighbor, not in a fluffy way, but in a sense that what you feel, they feel. And that everybody has a story that matters. And that together, we can bring healing to each other.
Let the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick be nourished, the elders protected, and the infants cared for. So this is all a basic need of any community, and Ubuntu matches that immediately. If we can help each other achieve these things.
I believe that I do exist because of other people. There's nothing that I wouldn't be here or be able to travel or be able to continue my music or anything else if it hadn't been for other people. And then now that I see how this philosophy actually works in all these organizations, I'm ready to take it back home and starting it in my own community, you know, with our own projects. Wake up. You're gonna sit there and see Africa is on the rise and is awakening.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy. So one of the things that's really amazing about this documentary and about these women that I really want to like feature in this trailer, because when the Hurtaks had mentioned about Rwanda, you know, one of those women is 3 generations refugee. She spent her whole entire life being a refugee, you know, from war-torn countries and everything else. And now look what she's doing right now. So when people sit there and say, you know, about peace, peace is totally achievable. You know, it's totally achievable. It's totally can, even when we think that there's no hope and they've seen so much death and so much destruction and so much of the despair there's so much hope and there's so much life because of what people are able to get within them, you know, through whatever they're fighting through themselves. And that is through the Divine Mother Spirit. That is our spirit of intuition. That is the Mother Spirit of intuition. That is something that is given to us through all people, through all men, women, and children. This is something that if we start tapping into and start using. I started reading some of those comments when they're talking about the celestials or the aliens. Those are the Mother Spirit's babies. Aliens and celestials are the same thing. You know, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Pato so he can get started on this presentation because I know we only got a few moments left, but so let's move on and get on to this.
Hi, everyone. I had to get away from Antionette because of the feedback.
It's good to know that you're with us. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
But it's really good to be here. Good to see you, Scott. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you, Eden. And thank you, everyone, for participating. So can I share my screen?
Yes.
Antionette told me that we were going to discuss the Urantia book. So I just threw something together very quickly while the Hurtaks were talking. So here it is. I think I'm going to have a problem with it, but let me go to this. Can you see that okay?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Perfect.
All right. So let me just move this out of the way. 1 second. All right, there it is. All right. Here we go. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes, we can. It's perfect.
All right, awesome. So I'd like to just share this with you guys. It's called Jesus and Our Mother's Spirit. The spirit of truth, which we know is Jesus's spirit that he said he would send into the world. And as the Hurtaks just shared, our mother spirit, the feminine divine, is also known as the Holy Spirit in the Bible, in the scriptures, but also known as Shekinah, as the feminine attribute of divinity. There is a book out there called The Grand Universe, which is part 1 and part 2. There's 4 sections of the Urantia book. But part 1 and part 2 focus on the central and the grand universe. So I wanted to start there before talking about Jesus and the Mother Spirit, or Christ and the Mother Spirit. The Urantia book teaches us that there are 3 persons of deity: the Father, the universal Father, the eternal Son, and the infinite Spirit. And the eternal Son is not to be confused with the Son of God that we recognize as Christ to be. We are talking about the universal Father and the eternal Son, which is the second person of the Trinity. And the third person in the Trinity is the infinite Mother Spirit. The Urantia book teaches that the Trinity live at the center of the universe. That's where they reside, at a place that we call paradise. And that when God creates, just like when you drop a pebble into the ocean, God creates in all directions. So the Urantia book teaches that there are 7 super universes. And if you look at the universe to the right, the one that says Orvington, that's supposed to be the super universe that we live in, that we live on. And
use your mouse and do that.
I'm trying to, but it won't show on this screen.
Okay.
So Uversa goes all the way over to Urantia, which is the name of our planet, which is to the right of the screen, that tiny dot. And our universe is called Nebadon, which is known as the local universe, which is where Christ and the Mother Spirit are classified as creators. So the relationship of the Christ Michael and the Mother Spirit, according to the Urantia book, this is the relationship of them to the Trinity. Okay? The Urantia book teaches that the universal Father and the eternal Son come together and they create creator sons. All right? Now, these creator sons go out into all directions of the universe. There isn't only one Son of God. Okay? There are millions of them in all directions of the universe. We just have a local universe Son of God that we recognize, who is known as Christ Michael, or Jesus Christ is his earth name. Okay? And it says that the third person of the Trinity, the infinite Spirit, who is also known as the infinite Mother Spirit, is responsible for the creation of our local universe Mother Spirit. And she represents the infinite Spirit just as if the infinite Spirit was living in our universe. Just as Christ Michael, or Jesus, represents the universal Father and the eternal Son, exactly as if they were living in our universe. Okay? Now, here's a closer view of our section of the universe. Okay, and you can see it says super universe number 7, which is the youngest universe in the grand scheme of things. And Urantia is our tiny planet. And the Urantia book says that eventually the Mother Spirit and Christ Michael will create 10 million planets with intelligent life living on it. They've still got a little ways to go, but that's the goal in our local universe. The Urantia book then goes on to explain the roles of local universe sons of God in very fine detail, okay? Then it talks about the local universe son and the spirit, the Mother Spirit, which is also known as a divine minister. And as I said earlier, the universe Mother Spirit, Shekinah, Holy Spirit, all of these things are the Mother Spirit. Now, this big world that you can see in the middle of all of these planets is, the Urantia book says, is Salvington, the capital of Nebadon. And all of these worlds around it are satellites, major satellites and sub-satellites, where we go to get educated and prepared before we stand in the presence of the creator of our local universe. And when Jesus said to everyone, "No one goes to the Father except through me," he was talking to everyone, every religion, every person. And it doesn't have to be on this planet. But when we leave this planet, eventually we will go to this place called Salvington. And we will go to all of these worlds. We'll go to worlds before we get to these worlds where we get trained, so that by the time we get to Salvington, we will know that Christ is the creator of our universe. So there'll be no dispute. And he will give us our certificate, our graduation certificate, to say, all right, you can now go on in your universal journey to go and meet the Father on paradise. The Urantia book also explains in very fine detail, the origin and the purpose and the personality and the function of our local universe Mother Spirit in paper 34. And it really is a beautiful revelation about how amazing she is. And, when people talk about Gaia, Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. This is the function of our local universe, Mother Spirit. She is responsible for plant life. Before there's even any animal life, she's responsible for plant life. Then she's responsible for animal life. And when human beings appear on a planet, she then brings her Holy Spirit to help them to become more and increasingly spiritual. And then when Christ comes to a planet, the bestowals of Christ, Michael, he then sends his Spirit of truth, which works in partnership with the Mother Spirit's Holy Spirit. And then they work in partnership with God's indwelling spirit, which is another Trinity, you could say, on our planet. And the Urantia book also talks about 6 other worlds that Jesus went to before he came to our planet to appear to them as a Lananandek, Verandadek, as a Melchizedek, as an angel. And his last bestowal was on our planet, where he wanted to get the knowledge of what it was like to be a human being, and to also reveal God's love to humanity by coming to our planet and living and dying on the cross to show us God's love, basically. And it talks about all of these bestowals on other planets in other parts of the universe in beautiful detail as well. Also, after Jesus left this planet, something happened where he went back to Salvington and made a proclamation of equality. And he basically made the Mother Spirit his equal in all things. So we now are ruled, the Son and the Spirit, in this last paragraph says, the Son and the Spirit now preside over the universe, much as a father and mother watch over and minister to their family of sons and daughters. It is not altogether out of place to refer to the universe spirit as the creative companion of the Creator's Son, and to regard the creatures of the realms as their sons and daughters, a grand and glorious family, but one of untold responsibilities and endless watch care. Antionette made a video that I'd like to share. It's called Our Mother Spirit. And in this, we share a lot of information about who the Mother Spirit is and what she does based on the revelation from the Urantia book. So I'm going to play this video before we move on. Here we go.
That's
No sound, Pato.
the music.
I am your local universe mother spirit. I am the feminine divine, the universe spirit, Shekinah.
Sorry, guys.
Yep, that's all right. But yeah, please optimize the sound and then let's try it again.
Sorry about that. Here we go again.
I've seen this video before. I love it. So I'm glad you're showing it.
See, that's why I had it on my computer.
Do I optimize the video clip?
No, optimize sound.
When you go to share screen, when you click share screen in the lower left-hand corner,
Yeah,
which says share sound.
I've got that. You don't want me to share the video clip. I mean, optimize the video clip.
It doesn't matter either way.
All right, here we go.
You can click that if you want. You can click it to be safe.
All right, then. Here we go.
Thank you, Pato. Yeah.
Here we go. You can hear that now?
Great. Yes.
local universe mother spirit. I am the feminine divine, the universe spirit, Shekinah, Shakti, the creative mother spirit, the divine minister, and the Holy Spirit. I am the giver of the breath of life. I am omnipresent in this universe, and you actually live in me. I am a creative daughter of the infinite Mother Spirit. I am equal co-creator with your local universe creator son, and we have created you in our image. I am the spirit of Mother Earth and Mother Nature. I am the mystery of life, the vital energy spark, the essential factor of life plasm to the required revolutions of matter in accordance with the physical, chemical, and electrical specifications of your world. I am the cause of purposeful organic evolution and reproduction. I am the source of all life on your planet, vegetable, animal, and human. I am the inherent endowment of mammalian mother love, maternal instincts, and the bestower of mind, animal and human. I am personally maternal to all my children. I love you individually. I know you personally, and I understand you completely. I am the provider of the spirit of intuition, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of courage, the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of worship, and the spirit of wisdom. I am the Holy Spirit, and I extend to you my fostering care and spiritual ministry as I work in harmony with the Spirit of Truth and your indwelling spirit, to lead you ultimately to the loving embrace of our Heavenly Father.
Wow, what a fantastic, I love that video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring you all up. Eden, I've got a question or two, but do you have anything you'd like to comment or question first?
I'm just so lit up by this rising together in equality between the divine feminine and divine masculine, and feeling both from the Hurtaks and from you, beloveds, just this proclamation of equality. Yes, that's what stood out the most for me. It was just so good, so beautiful. I did have one question, and it's kind of more of like a, the inquiring mind wants to know question around the Urantia book. And someone else asked who wrote that, or who knew these names. And my intuition is saying this might be a channeled work, but I don't, is it true? Yes.
You can hear me okay?
Yeah, hold on.
It's a little quiet. Pato, can you unmute?
All
Or
right.
do you have to go through Antoinette's?
Okay. I'm back on. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to answer? Actually, do you want to answer the question or should I?
We can both answer it.
All right.
You know, you
Uh,
can hear me, right?
According to the Urantia book, and no, according to the Urantia book, there are 3 different kinds of religion. There is primitive religion based on fear. There is man-made religion, which is based on revelation and evolution. You know, when we have visitations, the celestials leave information for us, and then men put it together and get inspired and create a new religion. And then there is revelatory religion, when a revelation is given to human beings, and basically from our celestial family. So the Urantia book is claiming that there was a subject, a person who nobody has recorded. This person remains anonymous, 70 something years ago, who was used as a subject to bring through the Urantia book, all 2,000 and something pages. His wife was a part of a Christian group in Chicago, but this guy was not interested in religion. He just stayed at home, chilled out while she went to her meetings, and she came home and he was fast asleep, and he said to her, "We have information to bring to mankind." And she's like, "What is going on?" So she woke him up, and he says he had no recollection of what she's talking about. So she brought in some of her religious group members to try and debunk what was happening. And after a few years of trying to debunk him, they were convinced that these were truly celestial beings. So they started recording. And I think that the beings told them to go away and come back with some questions. So they came back with a list of questions that could not be answered in the Bible. And they were answered. From there, they started to bring the papers through. Antionette?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that one of the things that the Urantia book says is that the universe is friendly. So one of the things that I never liked is any doom and gloom messages, because every time people come with these doom and gloom messages, everybody starts freaking out and the world is going to end and all this stuff. And it's like, we're not focusing on the right things here, you know. And one of the things that I heard, and it was kind of crazy, but they said that many times should have been blown up from World War III many times before. They said it was divine intervention that actually took care of that. You know, it is our celestial heavenly helpers that is helping us. So this prophecy that they're talking about with this message, because that message, like I said, was said before. It was in the Hopi prophecy, it was in the Mayan prophecy. It was thousands of years ago, it was hundreds of years ago. It was 10 years ago. Pato wrote a paper on that. He was sitting there saying, he's like, mankind can either go down this road or go down that road. We have a choice.
But
and we can see what's happening. But the thing is, it's like, wake up, get busy, get involved, tune into a higher power. We can change everything.
But
yes,
the Urantia book does say, if mankind
blows it all up,
takes our planet to the brink of extinction, that the celestials will come and take a large number of worthy beings, humans, to a new planet to continue life there. And they don't believe in death. Celestials don't believe in death. You know, of course, human beings die, but celestials know that once this body is gone, they wake us up. You know, the angels wake us up in our next place. They provide us with a new body, you know, so that we can continue existing and meet our loved ones who passed on before us. So they don't see death the way we see death. They see it as a transition. And of course, they empathize with our suffering, but there is, for them, there is no death unless a human being chooses not to accept the gift of life.
You see where we
We're
can
the,
go?
we're the only ones that can end our lives,
Look-
basically.
Look at all of this. Look at all this everlasting adventure of life. And then once you get all the way into the super universes, then you're going out into the outer reaches of the universes. We're talking gazillions, 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 gazillions of years of so many planets, so many celestials, so many, the celestials that were with you during this time here. You know, when you're praying and you're talking about your angels and everything, you get to meet them. You know, it's like there's so much to look forward to. I ain't worried about nothing. All I'm saying is like right now, prepare yourselves right now because you're preparing yourself for later. And anything that we can sit there and do right now on our spiritual growth towards ascension, you're just gonna have more fun later. I don't want to be in mansion world, reworld, you know, new world, stuck with all these knuckleheads. Like, oh my gosh, we got to learn all this stuff over again when we could have done a lot of this right here and right now. So we're on a mission. We're on a mission to sit there and just, you know, get moving.
We have a couple questions I want to read. One, Darina
You're
Joy.
muted,
Oh, whoops.
Eden.
Am I muted? Can you hear me, Scott?
I hear her. I hear her.
Sorry, Eden. Carry on. What was you saying?
Okay, there's a couple questions. Darina Joy wants to know, how can we share this fantastic video, messages, imagery, music? What an amazing fusion. So is that a publicly available link
Yes.
that could you pop it in the chat later for people?
I already did, Eden. I put
Oh, that's
the YouTube
great.
link in the chat box.
Great. Yeah,
And all of the words from that video are words from the Urantia book that explain what the Mother Spirit does. We just compile them into one text.
Oh, I so feel Antoinette's power and passion and her own soul channeling through in the choice of the words and the phrases that are used. It's so good.
I loved your meditation too. That really spoke to me. And that was the thing about that helped me with my healing, you know, so I had to use that Mother Spirit intuition to help me, to lead me on finding the answers on how I was going to be able to self-heal myself. And that was the thing. That's how I learned about the heart chakra and everything else. I was like, okay, it's so divine. It's all connected. So it's like learning to trust, not fear, but face everything and rise, and learning to trust. And then, you know, look how beautiful that is. Oh yeah, the Divine Mother's love. So that's how we got into the Divine Mother's love with Chief Phil Lane and all of my sisters from around the world. We're all feeling and seeing the same things.
Absolutely. We are all blending our voices. We're pieces of the mosaic, and in men bodies, women bodies, the Divine Mother is here through our hearts. We have Janice saying the sacred marriage. That's that proclamation of equality, that sacred union. Yeah, Dr. Laura.
And the Urantia book says that when Christ made the proclamation of equality in the universe, and remember, they're saying that there is 10 million planets that the Mother Spirit is responsible for in partnership with Christ Michael. Their planets that they've created with their children, right? All intelligent life forms on these 10 million planets that they are responsible for. What the Urantia book says is that the proclamation of liberty means now that all planets, all men have to honor women as equal partners universally now. This is the proclamation.
And it goes way back to when he did it there. And then Adam and Eve, same thing. They made the same proclamation. And then when Christ came to this planet, because I always tell the story like the Chick-fil-A story, the same thing, like if you work at Chick-fil-A, you have to work the fry all the way up before you can own your Chick-fil-A. And that was the same thing that Christ had to do. He had to sit there and come down to the lowliness before he could sit there and become sovereign of this universe. But while he was here on this planet, he told them men and women were equal. He told the apostles, they made Mary and all of them as female apostles going out there. We should have had our emancipation from back then, but because of these guys who took out all that stuff out, rewrote the Bible, put in their things, and then we're sitting there like fighting for this equality now. But he established that 2,000 years ago.
Yes, there was 12 female.
2,000
There
years
was
ago.
12 female apostles too,
Wow.
and there's a lot of caves that has been found where the woman apostles have got their fingers up like this, and the men have removed the fingers and removed the eyes to remove women. The history. Christ was the one while he was here. He says, "We are now going to establish women as equal in the ministry," and the men were against it. So as soon as Christ left the planet, they started erasing
The lost gospels
the
of Mary
women, and that's
said the kingdom of heaven is within you. She was the one who kept saying, go back inside and meditate and pray and go from within there. You know, they didn't like that because they wanted all these middlemen preachers, you know?
And some of the words are still in the scriptures, even though they tried their best to erase. There's one of the things that says, in the kingdom of heaven, there is neither rich nor poor, free nor bond, male nor female. All are equal in the kingdom. You know,
there's also one other thing before we stop. The Urantia book also said something about leave no images behind. That's why you guys don't see us posting no Jesus pics anywhere, because we've seen the division it has caused across this planet. Wars have been fought over this. Racism has been built upon it. You know, so that's one of the reasons and it's clearly said it in there, and that's why we don't use any pictures of the Christ. We share the words.
One more question from Dr. Laura asking, Pato, is the Christ Michael the same person as Yeshua, or is that like the oversoul, like the more cosmic Christ is connected to the human person, Jesus or Yeshua?
Yeshua is Christ. The situation with Yeshua is that when Christ, you know the story of Gabriel coming to Mary and saying that you will give birth to a child of promise. Yeah. Well, the Urantia book almost says that Christ was artificially inseminated, but not the way we would do it, you know. But Christ, his memory was not, his memory was an evolving memory. When he was a child, he did not know he was Christ. The Urantia book says he did not fully remember that he was Christ until the baptism, when the Spirit of God pulled back the clouds and he saw himself sitting on the throne. But he had an idea that he was something very special. He knew he was special, but he didn't know to what. He didn't know he was the sovereign creator of the universe he was living in. But he knew he was special, and he overheard his mother and his dad talking about the Gabriel visit, you know, and everything like that. But he was a human being evolving his memory into Christ. So Yeshua, as it stands right now, Christ Michael, the sovereign ruler of the universe, is Yeshua, is Jesus, is an archangel in one of his visitations, is a Melchizedek in one of his other visitations, is a Lananandek in one. Every bestowal he made, he took that existence with him. So it's like if I was born as Pato Banton, but then I was told to come back as Scott, you know, then I would be Pato Banton or Pato Scott Banton, because I would have experienced a lifetime of living like Scott. And if I had lived as somebody else, all of those memories, all of those attributes, all of those lessons, all of those experiences would become a part of who I am. So Jesus's title now as Son of God and Son of Man is in recognition that he is Yeshua, he is Jesus, but he's also still the original person that came all the way from paradise to our universe to begin as a creator son.
Beautiful. Thank you for that.
I've got a question, and this is inspired by Eden and her work. What does the Urantia book say about Mary Magdalene?
The Urantia book, it doesn't say much more than the Bible says, except for that Jesus had a very close relationship with her, you know, and that she was very involved in the female apostleship. She was one of the female apostles as well. You know, was she the first one that he appeared to in the garden too?
3 times.
Yeah, before he
Knucklehead. I'm sorry.
stop saying knuckleheads. Before he appeared to apostles.
He said he was coming back and they didn't believe that he was coming
Yes.
back. That was the thing. That's why I'm saying he kept saying, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back. And so when they all went and hid, they talked about it in there. When they was all hiding and scared, she was like, no, we got to go down there. He came back. He said he was coming back. So we got to go down there. She had to go and convince them. And it said that because she literally had to go and convince them and they did not believe her. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Urantia book also does.
The knucklehead. She's calling those other
Yes.
ancient people the knucklehead.
Yes.
At the
But-
time,
but the-
they're better now.
But the
you
Urantia
know.
book does talk about a woman that tried her best to be Jesus's wife, and her family did their best. Her family was wealthy. They offered Jesus wealth, you know, so that he wouldn't have to work. And Jesus said, because he was poor at the time, and they said to him, we'll take care of your family. You don't have to worry about anything. And Jesus says, he did everything he could to get out of the entanglement of being in a relationship with this woman. And she loved him. And she, even at the crucifixion, she was one of the women that went and witnessed his crucifixion. It's almost like a romance story where this woman was madly in love with Jesus and she followed him a lot of places, but he just declined from getting involved in a relationship.
Because he wasn't supposed
and
to.
before,
right? Yeah.
no, it says, the Urantia book says that when a son of God bestows his life on a planet as a human being, he is allowed to have a relationship, but he's not allowed to leave offspring on the planet. A son of God is not allowed to leave children on a planet, but they can, if they choose to, get involved in a relationship.
It kind of blows the whole Da Vinci Code premise away right there about the lineage.
Well, you know what I want to say about that, and we do need to move forward. This is amazing, as always, is from my perspective, it's a dream world.
Mm-hmm.
We each get to hear our own unique way of making our way to the one truth that we are all one incredible experience of life, the one truth of the divinity of all beings, the one truth that all beings are equal, the one truth that there are stages of development and evolution, but then we get to have our own unique belief about it, you know, and we can have a very traditional Christian belief, or we can have a mystic Christian belief, or a Urantia approach to it. And these are all different pathways that maybe fit our evolution, help us to evolve, because if you think about all of us, as we get more mature, as we mature, our awareness expands. We go from thinking, you know, a child's all of us, every human being's very first big awakening is when we realize we're not our mother. We all thought we were our mother at a certain point. Then we differentiated. We realized, oh, we're not our mother. There's separate being. And then, you know, and our expansion and our awareness keeps growing and growing. There's the family. Oh, there's a city. Oh, there's a town. Oh, there's a state. There's a country. There's a universe. Today they were showing us 7 universes. And as I was looking at it, I was going, yeah, I buy that. So we're able to expand in that way. but each particular pathway is just our higher self guiding us, our guides guiding us into a way that's going to help us in our next stage of evolution, our next stage of understanding.
So beautiful.
And I do want to have to say this because as you can see, Pato and I, we're not out there converting people. We've been studying this book. He's been teaching me for the last 10 years. He's been studying this for over 30 years. I always tell people when they start talking about all the different things, I'm like, fine, that's totally fine. We'll talk about it in the afterlife. I don't have no beef with nobody. It's like, we'll just talk about it later. I don't want to argue with people. I don't want to be fighting people. I don't want to be debating. Believe what you want to believe. It's all good. I'm not going to be upset if people don't want to believe this. And if they want to believe, that's totally fine. And that's what I said. I love this because it's like, and when we started with Unity Earth and Ben and everything else, it's like, that's why we were hit at the parliament. We're not selling a religion. I don't need to sell anything. We're just what we're into. If people like it, if you like it, if you don't, it's totally fine. It's just, this is how we move. And this is how we roll.
I believe that, everybody comes from a different perspective in life. Everybody has a different understanding of life. I meet some people who don't believe in God, but they worship nature. But the Urantia book has taught me that when somebody worships nature, they are still worshiping the Mother Spirit, who is the creator of nature. So one person's fantasy or dream is another person's reality. But eventually, we all come to the understanding of one truth, because there cannot be two stories of history. There can only be one story of history. But until we know the truth about history, we can have many stories of history. And it's like, when I capture something on my phone, like some people fighting, they can go to the police station and tell 3 different stories of what happened and who started it. But when I bring my phone to the station and I show them, this is what I caught on camera, that's the end of the argument, because that captured the truth. If I captured the full picture of what happened. And it's the same thing with angels. Angels come down and they see human beings with our different ideas, and then they share what they know from their reality. And then we can choose, is this angel know what they're talking about? Or, but no argument is worth arguing about until we stand in the presence of celestials. Everything else right now is debatable, and everything else is based on personal spiritual experience. But later on, we can sit down and then hear the angels tell us the full story, because right now, all of us are only touching a piece of the elephant.
Right. It feels like this 3D world is so veiled anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much we're even able to perceive. And what I love about what we're pointing to is this grace, this Holy Spirit, the Divine Mother's love that says everything is welcome. In unity consciousness, we honor dazzling diversity. That's what makes life beautiful. Everybody's welcome. Children don't need to fight in the sandbox. We love you with your beliefs, with your differences.
Mm-hmm. Oh, last thing. If I was to summarize the entire Urantia book, the Urantia book says that the most important thing for human beings to do right now is to develop a closer relationship with God. That is the ultimate requirement right now of our celestial family, is that we go within and make contact with spirit. That's what, and that's what, and Jesus's good news says that the kingdom of heaven is within, which is spirit. It's not a religion. It's the spirit is within, and everyone is God's children, brothers and sisters, one family.
Mm-hmm.
So Religion doesn't matter, sex doesn't matter, knowledge doesn't matter. None of that stuff should be a barrier from stopping us from loving our maker and loving each other.
And all life is sacred.
And all life is sacred. That's what the whole, even with all its different technicalities and facts and this and that, that's what the whole picture of the Urantia book is. Love your creator, love each other, and work on building a true inner spiritual relationship.
I want to follow that up with two of my favorite teachers, and what they said, it's the exact same thing. Paramahansa Yogananda's quote is, "Everything else can wait. The search for God cannot wait." And our beloved Twin Ray, and we have a lot of community with us, and I know you were just with the Twin Ray and Chief Phil, and their thing is, to know God is to love God, and to love God is to know God. And of course, God being all that is. So again, we get the same messages in different ways and, you know, slightly different words, but there's these universal truths, and it's all part of this beautiful awakening world. The other thing I wanted to mention is I loved what you said about revelatory consciousness. And that really is, it's the difference between reading something in a book and following someone and our own personal revelation.
Self-revelation.
Right. And that comes from getting to know God, the search for God, through meditation or being in nature or whatever form. I mean, it can be martial arts, it can be playing music, but, you know, really learning and having our own personal revelation. So we're having our own direct connection.
That's right. And that's what the Urantia book promotes, self-revelation. Because once you've read all the books, you're supposed to put the books down. And that's when you go within and the revelation continues. The revelation never stops.
Yeah.
The truth is always expanding, but it begins to expand within us when we go within.
And Capricorn's rule, my birthday's on the 1st. January 1st. Capricorn's rule.
Well, I love you guys. I want to let people know a few things of how they can get more. They just launched, Antionette just launched this wonderful new website, divinemotherslove.org, divinemotherslove.org. And you truly are living this principle of love in action everywhere, all at once. So definitely go there. And tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing, Antionette. What's this new vision?
This is a project that me and the other women, Sister Eshna and Sister Joan Henry and Pookie and Sister Emmeline, it's like women that I've been working with throughout the years with Chief Brother Phil Lane. Ever since we were down in the Mexico at the 8th Fire Hidalgo, and I saw the Afro Mex, I was like, all right, we've been at many fires before, but this one was different. This one was so different that we were able to hear all of the voices inside that teepee. We were in there for hours. And I said, this is what we need. This is how we start to begin with our healing, our truth and reconciliation, by acknowledging all the people that we have not been able to hear from all the people before. And this is why it's so time. It's like, come on, Phil, keep bringing those fires around the world, keep lighting them, keep bringing the sisters together. And I really love that these sisters have come together in the spirit of unity. You know, it doesn't matter what tribe that we're coming from. We are all coming together for the purpose of saving this planet, saving each other, saving humanity, saving everything. We're on a mission. And like I said, when I was on John's thing, I said, we're tired of talking. We're tired of Zooming. We're going out there so we can start doing actionable things, you know, to start doing around our own areas. We have got to get to work, you know.
And it's also multicultural.
Yes.
Diverse. Multi-faith. And international.
Global. Everybody is invited. We were not turning anybody away. All men and women are invited.
Beautiful. And if people want more information on the Urantia book, as beloved Antionette told us, it's very simple. Just go to urantia.org. Urantia.org. That's spelled URANCHIA.org. TIA.org. And there's a lot of options. I've got it pulled up. There it is. So there's the foundation.
And you can also, the app, it's also free as well. That's how I started reading. Because I was carrying that big old blue book in my purse. And then someone said, there's an app for that. I was like, oh my God. I was like carrying this big old book. And I was like, okay, now I can just read the app and just read everything. That's how I study.
Beautiful. I want to acknowledge a new friend, Kumara, who joined us, and he's had some wonderful comments here. But he talked about how since discovering the Urantia book, it's really changed his life in beautiful and wonderful ways. So welcome to the Awakening World, Kumara, and I've enjoyed your comments very, very much.
Scott, I just want to share something. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I sure can.
I just sent you a link, and I'd like to give this as a Christmas gift to everyone.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Pato. Tell us about what we're looking at.
You are looking at a project that took me 7 years to create, and I have made it as a free gift now. I think there's 50. Can you scroll up? I think there's 50 lessons.
Wow.
From,
oh, my heavens.
Is it 50?
Yep. Exactly 50.
It's 50. There are 50 lessons from Christ, from the Urantia book. And it's a 7 CD project. The first 4 CDs has the music accompaniment from one of the top gospel keyboard players in England. And the last 3 CDs is accompaniment from Antionette on the keyboards. And it is absolutely beautiful and inspiring. And anyone that just loves words of inspiration, and some of these lessons are in the Bible, some of them are not. But in the Bible, for instance, the Sermon on the Mount in the Bible is 2 paragraphs long. In the Urantia book, I think it's 3 pages long. Because the angels were there listening to Christ talking, and they recorded what he said, like CNN on the scene. His whole life is recorded in the Urantia book. Even the missing years is recorded in the Urantia book. So
it has saved so many people's lives.
This book,
People who got anger issues. You just pop it in when you're driving. Pop it in when you need to calm down. Pop it in when you need to chill out. Pop it in when you just need to connect. Or it's a lifesaver. I'm telling you, it calms so many people down. It's like, yo, just chill out, take a listen, relax.
It is a great source of inspiration.
You know, Pato, great minds think alike, because when I was thinking what I was going to share,
Okay.
He gave me this when I was in Los Angeles, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice.
And so this is one of those CDs.
Yes, that's part 2.
It's part 2 out of the four parts, total of 50 lessons. So this is a beautiful gift, everybody. I've put it in the chat box. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, come join us. Come join the Global Peace Tribe. So you can come on into the chat box. You can get the link. I'll also post the link on my Facebook page in a few minutes. So you can go to my Facebook page, Love Coach Scott on Facebook, and I'll put the link of where you can get Pato's beautiful CD box set on the words of Christ through Pato sharing with us from what he's learned from the Urantia book.
Sorry for going over time to the other guests.
You know, I actually decided, I made a little decision. We're not going to hear from Matthew Fox this year because it was a video replay. Just going deeper with JJ and Desiree, and then going deeper with you has been well worth it. We still have a musical offering from Eden. We still have an Omashar song, and then we're going to have a KES group healing. And also we have a Twin Ray meditation and song. So we still have a lot of wonderful things ahead, but it was worth it to go extra time with both of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Eden. I can't wait to connect with you, girl.
Well, stick around for 5 minutes because we're going to go right into a very spontaneous Eden creation. She is one of those people like you, Antionette, super multi-talented. She does so many things well. I just discovered this week she's a good actress also. But we're not going to get an experience of her creative expression. So Eden, I'm going to turn it over to you to share with us a little bit about your beautiful offering.
Okay. Love you guys. Thank you so much. My heart's overflowing. I think you're spotlighted, or I see you, but maybe you see me. Okay.
Your spotlight.
Okay, good. I'm going to play a very, very special song that it didn't exist a few days before the solstice. It was just this inspiration for peace that was coming through so strongly. And another synchronicity, Antoinette, this is just wild because I'd only just heard of Ubuntu a couple weeks ago. And I decided to name the track I Am Because of You. And it's very similar to I Am Because You Are of Ubuntu. So even though it's just held in that working title, the fact that it evolved from that, I'm just lit up. So this is I know you two are musicians. This is a very rough and very heartfelt song about peace. And what I would like to invite our beautiful listeners and Awakening World Tribe is to stand up and just take in the frequencies of the music. When I start to play the song, I'm sharing my sound now. So I am because of you, and I won't be able to speak much over it, but we'll let you know what the lyrics are in Sanskrit. Actually, it's an ancient, powerful language. It's a mantra, and I'll put in the chat what it means. So here we go. Do you hear anything?
Yes.
For the lyrics in the chat.
Yorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Whew.
Eden, would you be willing to read the words, starting with God lead us?
Yes. God, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness into light. Lead us from the fear of death into the awareness of immortality, everlasting life, peace, peace, peace. Just like this beautiful dove, Mother Mary's prayer. Peace.
That really worked. I just want you to know it really worked, Eden.
I
It was
feel like the
just-
college kid that didn't study and then crammed at midnight the night before, whipped together the essay and turned it in the next day and got an A.
Well, the essay got an A, that's for sure.
So quick and rough, and I just went in there and did like all these takes of heart and let myself just wail and go for it and for peace. Oh, Mashar, thank you. Yeah, that is one of my favorite mantras. It's so powerful for these times and for everything that's been spoken by everyone that's shared. Just the synchronicity that it was called I am because of you. And now the Ubuntu, like, what's going on?
And Antoinette writes, it's great that her name is Eden, and some of the Peace Tribe came and saw Edensha. That's their property, their incredible place, and they're creating a whole wellness center called Edensha. So you've got the Ubuntu connection, they've got the Eden connection. So I love connecting people. So Eden, meet Pato and Antoinette.
I've met them before. I love them. I'm so grateful to see them again and be with them tonight and just raise this frequency together. You know, my name Amadora means she who loves, or the adoration of the Divine Mother. It came to me in a mythic dream about 14 years ago. And it was very much that spirit, just asking for that equality, that peace, that balance, that harmony on earth through that dream vision. And I decided to take it as a name and use it as a frequency.
It was divine. It was divine because every woman that I've been meeting all around the world, have been on this search for the Divine Mother. So that's not a coincidence of any type of thing or a synchronicity. In fact, there's a word in the Urantia book that's bigger than divine, and it's called supernal. I was like, yeah. So everything was always divine and lining up in it, and it's just really beautiful. So I love that song, and I would definitely love to record with you as well too,
Oh, I
because
would
I want to
love it.
record all the beautiful voices of the women who are hearing that call.
Oh, I
There's a
would be
reason for
so
it.
honored to work with you and create with you. That would just light me up. Where are you all? Where do you live? Where
We live in Southern California. We're in Lake Elsinore, and like we were saying that I see some of the Oh, here, open that one. Yeah. You know, I see some of our global peace tribe, like the Telesons, because they went on the land. And then some of the other folks too, we took them to go visit. And it's crazy because at that time when we showed them the land, there was no water. There was water, but we've had this issue with the with the destruction and like the mining, the way that they're doing so much destruction around here in Southern California. I mean, it's crazy because people think that it's actually so environmental and everything, but actually, even right now as we speak, they want to sit there and cut down 60 acres of trees. 60 acres. And here we are trying to plant more trees. We're trying to change the environment. We're trying to show them what they've been doing in Africa as far as terraforming and how you can sit there and bring back the animal life, by creating the biosphere. All of these things is so important. And at the time when Chief Phil Lane had blessed the land, when we had got it, it was so dry. And then this river, it was like a stream. And then the way it was so green, and I'm sitting here, we're going to do a hike on my birthday on January 1st. I'm not partying. That's why we canceled the holidays. We're not doing anything. We're working. We're on a mission to save people and save this planet and save humanity. So on my birthday, I'm going to go on a hike. Everybody who's in Southern California, we're in Lake Elsinore, an hour south of Los Angeles, an hour north of San Diego. If you want to come, meet me at my house at 12 o'clock. We're going to go out there and meditate, manifest, go bless that land. We're going to go see that water. We're going to see what we can do to protect. We're going to come together, bring all our ideas together, and start making history and start changing things.
I wish I
All
could
of this is
come,
not
Antionette.
it's not a coincidence. It's not a synchronicity. It's lined up divinely as it should have been.
Much
Yeah.
love, Dana. Much love.
I'm gonna get your contact info from Scott and come down and visit and make some good heart soul music with you for the Divine Mother.
You're
Let's
always
do
welcome. Everybody knows who's ever been to our house. No, our house is open.
it. Mwah.
Well, people are asking how they can get more Eden Amadora. And it's easy. It's her website, which is edenamadora.com, EDENAMADORA.com. And Eden, you've got something very special that's going to be starting next month.
Scott, if you scroll up to the nav bar, you see that priestess training tab right there? If you click that. So there was I believe Kumara asked, how do we get mystery schools happening again? Well, they are. They are. I'm a divine feminine mystery school teacher going into my 15th year. And this lineage goes back deep. My mentor is almost 80 now. And the most beautiful thing about this particular year's training, I should have put a little dash after the T in priestess because my beautiful brother Argon is going to be co-facilitating with me. And it's open for men and women who are longing to connect with the divine feminine, with the divine mother. And we're going deep into 13 different archetypes of the Divine Mother, different faces, just like the Hurtaks talked about Kuan Yin and Mother Mary. We go very, very deep into the frequencies that she's like, fractaling in so many different ways. Sometimes it's fierce love. Sometimes it's like Kali Ma. And sometimes it is that sublime compassion of Kuan Yin or Mother Mary. And for 13 months, we sit with one face of the Divine Mother for a whole month each. And we look at also how to balance that inner marriage, the divine masculine counterpart, and the ways that they're coming together now for peace within, for harmony within, and then that's reflected and ripples out into the world. So my invitation is that you check out the page, and even if you don't think of yourself as a priest or a priestess, you might think of yourself as a lamp lifter, a way shower, a leader in love. And we're lifting the lamp and calling everybody together. The gates are open. This is an initiatory path, meaning it will challenge you. It'll challenge the small belief patterns and kind of old habits that keep you from feeling the divine within, that keep you from living heart first. And it will transmute them, alchemize them into more presence, more compassion, more empowered love wisdom to bring to this world. So it's application and interview style, because not everybody is ready for that kind of deep, we'll call it even some shadow work, because let's face it, this is a time, there's so much shadow on the planet, and it's up to us to be the alchemists, to do the inner work for the one, for the collective. So this is a very, very deep path of initiation. And I'm excited. Like I said, I'm 15 years deep, going into my 15th year, and it's changed my life completely. I thought I was going to be a pop star. I thought I was going to all about me shaking my tushy on MTV back in the day, but that was not my soul's higher calling. It is truly here to be a clear mirror and to speak truth with love and to lift the veils at this time with you, with all the beings who are awakening. So I'm so grateful for communities like this. I'm so grateful for Scott, and we're cooking up something too in the new year. But for now, my primary focus, and there is a special portal open till midnight on the 27th. So if you look down towards the bottom of that page, you'll see that I've taken the prices way, way down, because I have a team. I have these beautiful other senior priestesses. Scott, can you scroll all the way down? You can see some of the other beautiful beings who are going to be sharing this journey. Further down, there's so many great images of the retreats we do there too. But towards the bottom, those are the 3 levels. And then there's Argon. He is a maker of shamanic tools of transformation. And we're talking like seriously potent holy oils, just like Christ was anointed, the Christ oils, the miraphors, Mary Magdalene. He studied this deeply. Charlotte Sophia is an embodiment guide and sacred sexuality coach, very wise woman. Alexis is, like she says, a warrior goddess of the heart. And I'm so happy to have these beings with me. So take your time and really search out the page, because there'll be something that resonates and you'll know I'm called if it's for you. And yeah, thank you so much for letting me share this incredible adventure. It's a year-long soul deep journey of the heart. I think you're muted, honey.
I know you've got a birthday party to get to.
I know.
We're going to be honoring you. Thank you for being with us tonight, staying later than planned, but another beautiful, beautiful show. I love collaborating with you. Thank you so much.
One last thing for those who want to come get a taste of some of the divine feminine mysteries, come to Oracle office hours next week on Thursday. It's free, 11 a.m. California time. I'm going to be showing some of these divine feminine archetypes, their sacred tools, and doing divination reading. And you might get a card pulled for you if you come. And many of us here in the awakening world know about it. And I love seeing familiar faces. So it's been really fun. So Scott, if you could also pop the Oracle office hours, maybe for those who haven't found it yet, that would be awesome. And that's also on the nav bar under free offerings. You just scroll down and you'll see Oracle office hours.
Give me a moment, because honestly, I was getting ready for something else.
Oh, sorry, honey. I popped it on you at the last second. Yeah, it's It's really fun because just as we're introducing these faces, like Antoinette's amazing video had so many aspects of the Divine Mother, we're raising her back up in collective consciousness. We're showing her and feeling her frequency. So here's the Oracle office hours. It's a live divination session. Like I said, 11 a.m. Pacific time. You just pop your name in, you'll get a Zoom link, and I'll see you there. I would love to meet you, love to do a reading with you.
Where are you located, Eden?
I'm up in Marin County, really close to Scott. We hung out last night, actually. Yeah, I'd love to see you either here or down south. I'll ask Scott to connect us.
Yeah, I'll do that right away. And I want to say her Thursdays are fabulous. I drop in when I possibly can. She does a great job. It is a lot of fun. A lot of global peace tribers are there. A lot of people that are in our show right now attend on Thursdays. So that's another wonderful offering at Thursdays at 11 o'clock, her beautiful Oracle office hours.
Thank you so
Have
much.
a wonderful, wonderful evening, Eden. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Only love, only love. Bye for now. Bye. So much love.
Wow. Well, we are going to, we've got still some wonderful things ahead of us. And I'm going to go next to honoring our friends, the Twin Ray. And obviously, I'm sure we all are troubled by what's going on in, well, as Eden said, 30 wars taking place right now. And I'm sure we all are especially shocked and horrified by what's going on in the Middle East. I'm going to play a video that the Twin Ray created a while back. And they first previewed it on my show on The Awakening World about 2 years ago. But it's a beautiful, you'll hear briefly Shekina Ma tell the story of how she was just singing in her temple and her phone turned on and recorded her song. She took that song and then and the Twin Ray just got back from a trip to Jerusalem on a peace mission. And so as we listen to this, it's her song for the children. Now, again, she did this 2 years ago before this terrible war. My understanding is that at least 6,000 children have died in the last 2 months. And this is her song for the children. So as we listen to it in our own way, let's all send our prayers for peace. And it's not playing for some reason. So let's try that again. Sometimes this happens. What I may need to do, I had brought it up. It's I listen to this video a lot. It's something that has just been such a powerful, there's a prayer that they offer afterwards. And let's see if we can get it to play this way. Just give me a moment. I've got a limited internet here tonight. That's why my picture's kind of been going in and out a little bit. And it's also sometimes gets in the way of being able to play things. So there we go. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted actually. And I just invite you, while I do my best to get this going, to prepare yourself to drop into prayer on this beautiful, beautiful day where we've been so inspired by JJ and Desiree, by Pato and Antionette, by Eden, and now by the Twin Ray, all these beautiful couples and beings. Here we go.
So I was here by myself, and I had placed my phone down. And I just started to sing. I was singing the voice of the mother to the children, receiving the prayers and sending them right back, sending the miracles consistently. And I was even moved. There's a moment, you'll probably hear it, but I even have tears running down my face during this moment because the prayers are so significant and because the suffering is so great right now. And it also connected into when this was written and what was happening at that time. And so this is a transmission. And the miracle here is that the phone just started recording this transmission all on its own. And then when I went back to it after the practice was complete, a couple hours later, there was this long recording of this transmission. And I remember I said, this is a transmission now that needs to be given. Now, this isn't a produced song or video or anything. It's center transmitting from my pure heart to the pure heart of the world. And that's what it is.
All right, I'm pulling it up.
Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua kaberina tamcha sabenu darenu noa Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Nagibod do shahi khudecha kvevat shamurem Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati Bachem tachalem rachame zirkateka tamid gamlem Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Asin kadosh burov tufka naeladatecha Ana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Yachid gelamcha penesocha kadushatecha Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Shaveinu kabel ushma sarkateinu yodeat alumo Hana bekoke julat yaminecha tati tehua Baruch Hashem kavod Malchuto leolam ba'ed. Amen.
We give thanks to our beloved Twin Ray, and we're going to honor them in a moment because Natalie is back and she's going to lead a KES group healing in a few minutes. But I do have a few more announcements and an Om Shar song coming up. Well, it's that time of year. We are almost complete with the current season. We've got 2 more shows left next Wednesday and Saturday nights. And then we start a whole new season. And I want to thank those of you that are in our Zoom room. If you're on our Zoom room, it's because you've registered for this season. And many of you have already registered for the new season, January through March. But if you haven't registered yet, or for those of you watching on Facebook, please do join the Global Peace Tribe. I'm so proud of every show that we do, to be honest. And my greatest frustration is we don't have more people watching these wonderful shows. So we have a really beautiful season planned. I've already got some amazing people booked. For example, our very first show on January 3rd, we've got both John Gray, the author of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, an amazing best-selling author, and Catherine Woodward Thomas, another best-selling author, are both going to be with us live to kick off our first show in January. And of course, here are a lot of the people, you know them, are regulars. You recognize all these wonderful people that are regulars on our show, co-hosts. There's the twin Ray, and of course, Eden, who is with us tonight. Kristen Hoffman, who will be co-hosting a week from tonight. And so many of our other friends that we work with, Piper and Tangela and Larissa Stowe and Deborah, and it goes on and on and on, all these wonderful, wonderful souls. And every week, our shows are inspiring, and we are here to really raise consciousness, to inform and inspire. That's what we're here to do, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of it. But we need your help. And you know, this is a great Christmas present. If you're looking for a Christmas present for somebody, get them a subscription to our wonderful, wonderful shows. You can subscribe for as little as $20. I so appreciate that most of you subscribe at a higher level. Please come and join us. For all of you watching on Facebook, it's really easy to join. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. globalpeacetribe.com. There's Pato and Antionette. And just click where it says register for the new season. And that'll take you to our registration page where you can learn all about what we offer. We do evening meditation 7 nights a week. And of course, we do a show every Wednesday. Wonderful, with several amazing women, evolutionary leaders. And then, of course, this is the show that we've been watching tonight, our annual Holy Day party. So please go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. I've also put the link into the chat box for any of our Zoom roomers that are with us that have not registered yet for the new season. Please do join us. And we've got some great shows coming up. On Wednesday night, this Wednesday night, it's actually going to be me and Omashar and all of you. And I am going to show the video that you may have seen people talking about in the chat box. It's a very disturbing and powerful video about a transmission that came through to some indigenous people, a communication from Mother Earth. And we are going to show that and talk about it. We're going to reminisce about some of the special moments from the past year, and we're also going to look ahead and do some visioning for 2024. So please join Omashar and I on Wednesday night. And then our final show of the year, and boy, it's an all-star group that we've got coming in. Kristen Hoffman will be my co-host. Alan Steinfeld is coming on. Kimberly Meredith will be back doing healings for people. A wonderful musical artist that's a friend of Kristen's, Kelly Love Jones, will be playing with us. Raquel Spring, an amazing astrologer, talking about what to look ahead to in 2024. Alex Santiago is a psychic, also talking about what's going to happen in the new year. And beloved Swami Beyondananda, who always has a unique take on life, is going to be joining us. I see Lynn and Leaf are happy about that. And we just added Piper Dellums is collaborating with Kristen. She's taking a song from Kristen and is going to make an amazing video out of it. So next Saturday night, our last show of the year, is going to be quite special. So join us, join the Global Peace Tribe. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, you'll get the Zoom room links for all of our shows, the remaining shows this year, and of course, everything for the first 3 months of the new quarter. So please do join us. We need your support, and let's grow the tribe, all right? But I need your help in growing the tribe. That's what I want for Christmas. I want for my Christmas birthday is to grow our tribe. So please help us with that. And the tribe is you. It's all of you. And there's nobody more important to the Global Peace Tribe than my beloved brother, our co-pilot, our house musical artist, our beloved Omashar.
Ah, deep breath. Another beautiful show. Holy smoke. I don't have any words for it. We were taken every which way, and to see things from so many different perspectives, and to realize that there are 8 currently billion perspectives, 8 current paths home to the heart on the planet, the planet right now. So I'm going to play this little tune, and let's give Scott his birthday present, which is 1 million subscribers to the awakening world. Right? Why not? Christmas is here, the time for love, the warmth of friends, starlight above. Open my heart, allow me to see the truth of life, the Christ in me. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. The spirit of love, the gift of grace, our open hearts, the sacred space. Open my mind, allow me to see that I am whole, and you live in me. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. The light is here, illuminate the star within, emancipate with joy and love. There's a radiant earth, our light returns, the sacred birth. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. And Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love surrounding me. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. you. Happy birthday, dear Scott. Happy birthday to you. Holy, 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 holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. All of us.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the birthday, and I just wanted everybody to see Jasmine Bear is wearing her little elf outfit. So there is I woke her up, but I still get kisses. So thank you for the birthday wishes, and thank you, Shar, for being just such an incredibly important part. Well, I would not be doing this show if it wasn't for you. I really would.
Just one of our imaginal selves, and all of us give us the light, and I am so lit up every single show, man, and they're just they're all pearls, I think, and they're all being strung together. The however many hundreds of shows that you've done, and it's just one massive necklace, man, and they're connecting, and I'm feeling it, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you. And you do such an amazing job on so many levels. You are just the best possible partner. So I'm grateful beyond words.
Well, I used to be a space cadet, and now I'm a Starship commander.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother. All right. And thank you, everybody. We are now gonna, on Saturday nights, we always conclude our show with a KES. It's Christic Energy System Healing, that was brought down from the Twin Ray, and then they've trained, and some of their master teachers, master trainers, then come on every week. And one of our favorite people now is Natalie. This is her third or fourth time on the show, and she does an amazing job. So, Natalie, thank you so much for coming in again tonight to be with us.
My pleasure.
And it's been a very, very beautiful evening, and I know you're going to be the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae that's been tonight's show.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Take it away, my friend.
Okay. It has been a beautiful show. I think I'm going to go directly in so we can all experience it. So I'm going to ask you to breathe and relax your body. Allow all this beautiful energy to enter into each one of your cells. Allow all this love to fill you up. Consciously opening your heart, connecting more deeply with the love within. As we remember the love that we are. As you stay centered into your heart, open your heart and your crown chakra, opening the gateway above your heads, all the way to God's source. and allow this beautiful light to come through. Specifically for you today. And allow this light to merge into your heart as this light connects to your heart and to the love that you are. Expanding the frequencies in your heart. Allowing the Christ consciousness to flow through. Setting the foundation for this chaos healing that is going to take place. And through your intentions, slowly open the chakras below your heart. Allowing the combination of love and light to anchor through your physical body. As you open your connection to the heart of Mother Earth. Opening the chakra between your knees. To allow your light body to anchor more fully. Allowing the body of the Christ to anchor all the way through into the core of the earth. As you anchor the light, the love, and the beautiful being that you are, this unique essence that you are. Creating a trinity into the heart of Mother Earth. Conscious of your offering today to her heart from your heart. Offering your prayers of peace. As we heal the consciousness of the planet. Offering your light, your love, and your empowerment. To the earth. As it expands through her body. All around the world. As we anchor the KS system Tesseract over our group consciousness. I, Natalie Lianmutia, call upon the Cosmic Christ Supreme Intelligence to support and facilitate this group KES holding session. I ask permission from our recipient's presence, future, to receive this group holding with the highest good and divine grace for all involved. I request on behalf of everyone to become aligned for the duration of this session to the divine intelligence and the Christic energy system with grace, with ease, and with joy. I invite the Cosmic Christ energy to connect with us now in the most appropriate way for all involved. May all that transpires in this microcosm, reflection of our group constellation, support and uplift the ascension of the entire human collective and all sentient life. I also call forth the assistance of the Divine Heavenly Mother and Heavenly Father presence to overlight this group container with pure, unconditional love from the Most High. May all be known through this connection of pure love, so that the group holding session anchors in us in the most benevolent way. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Thank you, and so be it.
you so much, beautiful Natalie.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Omashar, for the beautiful accompanying music.
Thank you very much. Mhm.
It's been a very beautiful evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. And may you have a beautiful holiday season in whatever ways you pray, celebrate, honoring each and every one of you. May the spirit of the Christ consciousness fill us each in our own unique ways. And I look forward to seeing all of you next week. We've got 2 wonderful shows planned. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care, everybody, and good night.